Hello everyone, my name is Leili Seifi, an associate professor at the University of Birjan and a member of 2024 ESC Pitch Competition Planning Team. Today I interview Ginny, Sterpka 2024 ESC Pitch Competition Planning Team, a member of the planning team. Hi Jenny, and thank you so much for joining me for the conversation.
Hi, Leili. Thanks for inviting me.
Jenny, could you please tell us about yourself to our audiences?
Yeah, sure. I am the program director for the Libraries as Launchpads initiative with Creative Startups, a nonprofit organization dedicated to supporting creative entrepreneurs, growing creative businesses, and fostering creative ecosystems. And so we started the Libraries as Launchpads program to really expand our reach to entrepreneurs that maybe weren't receiving the help they needed in their ecosystems, and work with libraries to better understand how to support entrepreneurs and small business owners.
Thank you. Thank you. Jenny, how libraries could meet business information needs of small businesses?
So I think there's many different ways that libraries do this already, and many ways that other ways that they could. I know lots of libraries offer different types of resources and different support. From what I've experienced in the libraries we've worked with, one of the number one ways that libraries can support in pretty much every ecosystem out there is helping people find the existing resources that are already in their communities. This obviously varies very much depending on what community you're in and what resources are available, but that's something, no matter how many resources are existing, that libraries are a great place for, because there's plenty of people out there starting business that have no idea where to start looking. In smaller communities, that's a little more difficult because there might not be the resources that people need there. So libraries can take on different roles where they're maybe helping people find those resources online or other things like that.
Thank you. And how we could strengthen libraries as a hub for entrepreneurship?
That's a great question, and that's pretty much what we try to do as an organization with our Libraries as Launchpads initiative. That's really what we focus on. One of the first things that we always do is we want to make sure the librarians we're working with have a pretty decent understanding of entrepreneurship. So we really just do a dive into, what is entrepreneurship, what are reasons people start businesses, and what are some of the resources that are beneficial for people at different stages of entrepreneurship. So that's kind of where we start, and then it branches out to looking at, what are the resources available in your community already, and then what type of resources aren't available, so that you can understand, are there things online we can look at, or is there something the library can do to fill some of those gaps that they've noticed in their local ecosystems.
Thank you. And how do libraries you work with contribute to the local businesses?
So there's so many different ways that they've done it. One of the things with our program that we do is, we encourage librarians to get out there and meet with people in their communities and understand what's going on. So the librarians we've worked with have each come away with unique offerings that they have put out to their communities. I can give a couple of more specific examples. We worked with one university library where, they had a lot of resources already for entrepreneurs and for people starting businesses, but they were kind of concentrated around a few majors at the university, business majors and engineering majors. And some of the people in other majors and other areas of interest didn't necessarily feel like those resources were for them. So the library was looking at, how do we offer resources to the people who say, me, an entrepreneur, they don't identify with that term. So that was really their offering that they offered for their community in the university. We've worked with other library who has looked at, there's many resources here, but there's not a lot of support for the Spanish-speaking community. So they have looked at, how can we translate some of the existing resources and put them out there for the Spanish-speaking community and help them understand where they can get support and what support they need. So those are a couple examples. There's been many different things people have come up with depending on what they found in their community when they started exploring a bit.
Thank you. Great. Jenny, what are possible ways that libraries could support entrepreneurs and particularly women, people of color, immigrants, and veterans?
Yeah, that's a great question, and one that we really think, that's the key area where we think libraries have the most impact is in those entrepreneurs that aren't receiving as much support and kind of are overlooked a little bit more often. Because what we've discovered, because we work with a lot of entrepreneurs as well, is that oftentimes people don't necessarily feel comfortable in some of the traditional business support resources with the traditional business support resources. If they're someone who's not familiar with business, this is new to them. They don't know business lingo, and they might not feel like they know how to approach those organizations. We've heard stories from entrepreneurs we've worked with where they've gone into, some organization and have been told, well, that's not really a business idea. And so they kind of were just a little downhearted by that, but they found other channels and have that specific person started a really successful business after that. And so not to say, all of business support organizations would have said that. It really depends on the individual that they talk to. But I think that's just something from our experience, that's not something a librarian would ever tell somebody. They would, say that's not a business idea, because that's not your purpose. It's to help people find the resources that they need. And I think that libraries just being as welcoming as they are to everybody, that it's a place where most people, I think, feel welcome. And so people aren't going to be hesitant to go get the support they need because they don't feel comfortable in going into that place and feel like they don't have and won't feel like they have to know certain information in order to even just come in and ask questions. Which a little bit gets to other places where, libraries could play a role, which is helping people understand some of that information so that they can then go access those other support resources and feel informed enough to be able to have a conversation around that.
Thank you. Thank you for
Yeah.
the great ideas sharing with us. And Jenny, what you hope 2024 ELC pitch competition to achieve?
Well, what I think the pitch competition is just really great for is, putting some of those ideas that libraries have out there for people to hear. Libraries are doing so many amazing things, for entrepreneurship and so many other things. And I think it's just great to see some of the really good ideas out there and hear people share them and put them out there for the public to hear.
Thank you. And any more thoughts would you like to share with us?
Yeah, it's been great being a part of this group and seeing all the other people working on, increasing the impact libraries can have in their community around entrepreneurship and small business support. And I just think that there's so much potential there, and it's really overlooked in a lot of places. But I think the ELC and the other initiatives out there are increasing the visibility of the work libraries are doing, and making it something that hopefully, slowly people will start thinking of the library in these ways that they're already doing the work, but people will recognize them for that, and that will be a place people think of when they're starting a business.
Thank you so much. Thanks a
Yeah,
lot for sharing your thoughts with us today.
thank you.